There we go. Good morning, Tony Dattino here with you on Monday, and we are at, October 23rd. My goodness, the days are going by quickly. Football season's halfway done, and God knows where we're going. But in any case, I wanted to do this article again, the Mind, Mood, and Memory November issue. I just thought it was so terrific. I mean, it really made a lot of significant points about everyday activities that give your memory and thinking skills a boost. And I thought what was significant is that the article really made a point in the perspective of how we think about our memories and our thinking capacities as things that we are using throughout the day. And therefore, if we're using it throughout the day, are there things that we can do or activities that we can engage in that stimulate our brain in a way that builds, it like a muscle? It isn't a muscle, I understand that, but it builds its skills. It builds its ability to be spontaneous. It builds the ability of just being innate, where it just comes to you in a very subconscious way. And are there things that we can do that help us to do that? And can we do these throughout the day? So we talk about learning something new, doing exercises, walking, looking through nature, all things that as we do them are helping us with our mental capacities and our brain health, which then impacts our memories and our ability to think and be creative and innovation. This article, I thought, really put this in perspective, and that by doing these activities and throughout the day, you keep your mind engaged on a frequent basis, and it just becomes part of your natural day-to-day living, which is like breathing. And as you're breathing, right, thinking of your mental health and things that you can do throughout the day that help you to do that, as well as activities that you can add to it if you wanted to supplement it and treat it as something that you did as well. So crossword puzzles, they talk about, is challenging your mental functions and doing walks in nature. If you're already taking a walk and you think about where you're taking that walk, going through a place where you see some trees, maybe a stream, maybe some water, maybe you're listening to some birds, all very positive things. And thinking of these as you go about your day and building them into a habit, then you're doing on a daily basis is you're enhancing your memory and your thinking capacity and your creativity. So some of the other activities that they recommended is the last part of my three-part series here that I wanted to cover. So they talk about drawing and painting. So if you like to draw or you like to paint, paint by numbers is one thing. We're painting different abstract colors and just mixing colors. Color in our brains is just one of the activating skills that we have when we look at things with color, and what a difference. I've done studies where I've had people look at something in black and white and then look at the same thing in color and just look at the pupils of the eye and how much wider that they open. So if we're doing some drawing and painting, we just mix colors. What a benefit to us. And so if you've got some house painting to do, you've got some drawing and doodling that you want to do. Doodling has just been one of these great things that we do, where you just sit there during the day and you get a little bit stressed and you just doodle a little bit. Going out and working in the garden. I've recently developed a very pleasant habit, or a very pleasant hobby, if you want to call it that, and having some plants that we had in the house, and we've put them now outside in a garden. And I go out and look at the plants, and I love these red coleus plants that we've put out there, and look at the green parts of the extension of their leaves and how well they're growing. And I go out there and look at them a couple of times a day, and I water them. As we've had some 90-degree days and 85 degrees, I make sure that they're getting water and that they're just sprouting up. And I just get such a energy boost from just going out, and they're like my little babies that I have in our front yard, along our driveway, and then on the front pattern. This was an interesting one that they suggest in this article, which is investing money. thinking about where you want to invest and learning what the different ROIs or return on investments are, and different strategies of looking at different stocks and studying companies, or looking at different bond yields or different CD rates by different banks. Anything that you can do to study how you can invest a little bit, and you don't have to invest a whole lot of money. I sometimes tell people, start with $100 and think about where you'd put $100 and just watch the process of how that 100 can go to maybe $105 in 6 months, or $110 in a year, or something where you can just have some fun with it, but using your mind to say, okay, where would I put $100? If I had $100 and I had free money to use, where would I put it? What would I do to invest it and do some things? How about journaling? I mean, diaries. How many times do you hear people, they just writing things out? I've read a number of studies where they talk about kids in schools just writing out their stresses and writing out their anxieties and putting them on pieces of paper. So, you can always have, do a little notepad maybe around and just doodle and draw out and write out some of your thoughts at a given time, so that you take them and you externalize them. And so here's what happens to the mind, right? You take the thought, you put it onto a piece of paper. You're using now your hands, so you're using your hands to write them out. Maybe you want to use and put notes into your iPhone. But the fact of the matter is, you're now externalizing them, so you're using your senses in terms of touch and hand coordination. But now you're also now reading back. You're seeing back through your optics exactly what's going on with what you just wrote out, that you've now externalized out of your mind. And it helps your brain to look at it with a little bit more objectivity. It helps you to de-stress yourself, de-anxiety yourself a little bit, and have you look at it, and then you can hang on to this piece of paper, and then you can look at it again tomorrow. And you can just see how you navigated through the day and how you were able to utilize the journaling in a very positive way. Another activity they talk about is meditation, and I think everybody has some form of yoga or meditation, or just getting out and just letting your mind be free for a minute. And I say meditation doesn't have to be a half an hour. It can be 2 minutes, where you just sit and you just let your mind clear itself. I'm not thinking, I'm going to just look to block out my mind from thinking about anything other than, I'm going to just be peaceful with myself for a few minutes and not think about any of the worries or anxieties, or just let my mind just detoxify itself. How about planning a trip? And I don't mean that you have to take a whole vacation or thing, but just plan a trip to go visit someone, or plan a trip to go to a store, even if you have, or plan your shopping route and plan out your grocery list, and just think about your groceries and the aisles in the store, and possibly using the loci method of memory as a way of saying, okay, I'm thinking of my grocery store, and the next time I go, what I'm going to shop for, and where's the juice aisle, where are the produce, where's the deli, where's the bakery, where are the meats, what meats do I want, how do they stack them, where do I get different homemade meals that I may want to get. And it allows you to just do a little bit of planning, but again, you're engaging your mind in a very natural way for something that's important and useful. One of the activities I recommend here can be a little bit crazy, and that is reading the news. And then reading the news, I know that's a little bit stressful at this point in time, so I'm not sure that I want to read the news, except maybe I want to read the local newspaper and get one of the local papers that come out on local activities and what's going on in the high school, what's going on in your local council meetings that are impacting your property taxes, and which now engages other stressful things. But reading some of the activities of what's going on, some of the high school newsletters, and just anything that's relaxing to you. And some of the daily news is a little challenging. And then last but not least, and I think this is a great suggestion, which is teaching others something. So take something that you enjoy, and sitting and talking with someone and just sharing with them how you've learned to do your knitting, or how you've learned to do your painting, or how you've learned to do your gardening, or how you go about doing, and working with teaching. I remember years ago doing some work at a church where I had the seniors that came for bingo to teach a Boy Scout group. And it was just fabulous to watch these seniors, how you fish, how you do carpentry, how you might do electricity, how you might do cooking, how you might plan, meals out for a family, how the nutrition habits. And it was just great watching these seniors use their wisdom and experience in teaching a troop of Boy Scouts. That's a project that I was working on. So these are just some of the additional things that I found. Again, this is my last and final part, but everyday activities that give you a memory and thinking skills a boost that you can build and make innate as part of your personal exercise to help your memories and your thinking skills. It is Monday, and off we go. Have a great day. We're off to another week. Halloween is coming along. Get your candies ready for your trick-or-treaters, and we'll see you on Wednesday.